Welcome back to another cutting video and sewing. So in this video I'll be showing you a shorter version of my previously done gored skirt. Now the other one was a tall one, now this will be a shorter one. So first you'll be drawing a basic skirt. So at the top, the waistline, I'll be drawing a line straight across and measuring down to the hem the length of my skirt. Now at the hem line, you'll be also squaring the line across to ensure that it is straight. You don't need a slanted skirt, so that's why. Alright, you will be measuring down your hip depth, and that's from the waistline to the hip. Use your ruler to draw the line across, and remember that's the line where you will be putting your hip circumference on. At the waistline, you divide your waist circumference by 4 and make a mark, and also you will be adding 1 inch dart allowance. At the hip line, you will be dividing your hip measurement by 4. You will not be adding any dart allowance to the hip line. It will remain as is. So the same measurement that is on the hip line, you will put it on the hem line. Use your hip curve to connect from the waist to the hip, and your straight ruler from the hip to the hem of the skirt. Okay, so you'll be dividing your waist measurement that you got right there by 2 for the dart, and then you will be marking, and then from that mark you will be measuring down either 3.5, 4 or 5 inches. Some persons use different measurements, and you make your dart. Okay, so you can cut out your skirt pattern, your basic skirt. So at the waistline, you'll be measuring down 1/2 inch so that the center front of the skirt will have a snug fit. So you measure down 1/2 inch, and then you'll be using your curve ruler to draw a curve across, and then you'll be cutting. Okay, so after you have done that, you will be separating the panels, panel 1 and panel 2. So at the tip of the dart, the ending of the dart, you'll be using that measurement to connect the line straight to the hem of the skirt, and making your mark to cut. Okay, so remember to always label your pattern so that you can remember when it was done, because sometimes persons do change in weight and size, so you need to know if it was recently done or if you can use that pattern again. So label your panel and ensure to put the person's name on it also, and date it. Okay, so now you'll be spreading it on your pattern paper. So at the hem line, you will go out by up to 3 4, depending on your adventure, what you want for your skirt or your client's skirt. You do what you think is best. So you'll be connecting it from the hip line to the hem of the skirt. And remember, I'll be using the same pattern for the back and the front. So you cut, so I've labeled my pattern the center front. Now you'll be spreading the other piece, so you'll be adding the flare to the both sides, to the inner side and to the outer side. And remember, when you're connecting it, you'll be connecting from the hip line to the hem of the skirt in a slant manner. So add the amount of inches that you want the flare to be at the hem on either side, and then you connect to the hip line. I won't be adding the sewing allowance as yet. When I'm cutting it on the fabric, I will do so. So that's my finished pattern. So you cut. Welcome back, guys, to this cutting tutorial on the fabric. I had already showed you how to draft this gored 6-piece gored skirt, and now I'll be cutting it on the fabric to show you so that you can have a better idea of how to do it. So if you had remember, these are the 2 panels that I had cut. So this would be the basic skirt, and it's for a very small person. So this is the center front flare. As you can see, the flare coming down from the hip here. And this is the other side. My paper is a bit folded, so it's not really staying. So these are the 2 panels. So the floor flare was on both sides. All right. So I'll be cutting in this tutorial, cutting on the fabric. So do enjoy and follow as I do this. So as you can see there, I've pinned down my gourd, my center front piece. So I'll be cutting it. Please remember to add seam allowance and also hemming allowance. Now the hemming allowance would be here because this is where the skirt will be hemmed, and this will be where you will sew. Okay, so I won't use a big hem because it's a flared skirt. And I'll be going up here by about ½ inch or 3/4 inch. I did not do that in the cutting video, but I'll be doing that. So add your ½ inch all the way up. Alright, so I'll be pinning down my other panel. And these will both serve for the front and the back because we're using the same measurement for the front and the back. Alright, remember to add hemming allowance. Okay, so these are my two pieces, and as I said, these will serve for the front and the back. So I cut out this for the front and this for the front. Alright, so the only thing with the back is that you'll cut out 1 inch for the zip allowance. So this is how it looks. Alright, and when you open it up, it will look like that. So if you can see that the flare starts from here coming down, so you can see that the panel is wider compared to when we just started. So remember I said I'm notching here so that I can know which one is the inside piece. So one would go on this side and one would go on this side. So when you're sewing, you just remember to take in your ½ inch sewing allowance. So you know that when you're sewing, you will start sewing right side facing right side. After you have serged your pieces, you'll go right side facing right side. Remember I said that the only difference with the patterns with the front and the back is that the back pattern will have the 1 inch zip allowance. So that is the only difference. This is the center front. What you'll do is you will be marking out the 1 inch zip allowance all the way here down, all the way down, and then you will pin your pattern. So here's my 1 inch zip allowance, and I'll be cutting. Remember to add the hemming allowance. Alright, so this is it. So remember we're using the front pattern also for the back. So I said that the 1 inch here is for the zip allowance. And remember to make a little notch right here so that you know that it's the inside piece you're sewing. All right, so these are my two side pieces. Remember, when you're cutting, you cut right side facing right side. All right, so at the corner here, you can just eyeball it and go up a little, turn it into a slight curve, and then fold this over and just do the same thing with the other one. Okay, so you can go ahead, search all pieces and join all front pieces together. And this is the front one, one, two, three. And this is the back part. And remember, the only reason why the back part would have an extra piece is because of the zip, because we'll have to put in a zip right here at the center back, so that's why it has two pieces. So if you can see that the front one is just one in the middle, press the seam open to insert your zip. Okay, so I've come to the end of my skirt making, and as you can see, it is very lovely and beautiful. So if you enjoyed my tutorial, please like and do not forget to share. Thank you.